What's up, guys? Your boy TGK here on TGK TV, about to give you my post-game thoughts of the Dallas Cowboys versus the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football. And there's going to be a theme to this. Like my title says, Dallas Cowboys, are you dumb? That is going to be the theme of this video. I'm going to question everything that the Cowboys do with, are you dumb? So anyone that's watching, if you're watching, you can head nod as we go along through this video, and you can even go along with me and you can say, are you dumb? So let's start with the first observation. And I don't think this is more of a are you dumb thing. I think this is more of a let me acknowledge and give this man some props. Kirk Cousins finally beat the Cowboys in quite some time and officially has got a win against Dak Prescott. I like Kirk Cousins. I don't hate him as everyone else in the universe does, or all of the Cowboys nation tends to make fun of him. I actually like Kirk. I think he has talent. I think he demonstrated that today. And today he played really great. He played great, and he played in a way not to lose the game. Even though he gave us an opportunity at the end where he just kind of overthrew Diggs at the end of the game, Kirk played great. Let's give him props. All the crap that us Dallas Cowboys fans talk, and I know there's a bunch of us that talk crap about him. I don't, but I just want to make sure that I still am who I am since day one, and that is to keep Dallas Cowboy fans honest. Let's give that man props. He whooped our ass today. Didn't whoop our ass, but he whooped our ass. My next thing is this defense. This defense started slow as far as stopping the Minnesota Vikings. They got off to a hot start, 14-0. And obviously the offense didn't get going, so the defense hasn't shown up. And again, there's always this narrative that the Cowboys can't be a winning team, and this just added even more fuel to the fire. And I take no joy in saying this, but I feel like I have to be the person to say this and speak up on this and say, like, look, we don't know what we are. We can beat the easy, crappy teams, but we can't be a winning team. And I'm gonna come back to the whole winning team narrative thing. And when I dig into that topic, it's gonna hurt us when I get into it. All right, guys. So this is the Are You Dumb segment. The Dallas Cowboys ran the ball on first down constantly over and over and over. And every time they ran the ball on first down, it generated hardly anything. Ezekiel Elliott ran the ball 20 times for 40-something yards. And my question to the Dallas Cowboys is, yes, you could play along. Are you dumb? And when I say are you dumb, it's more along the lines of like, do you not see that running the ball on first down is not doing anything? If anything, it's putting Dak in a tough situation because second and third down are these long plays, and he's having to overcome situations when if you just throw on first down, it gives him an extra chance to not necessarily come down to a third down. He could probably get the first down on the second down. I'm just saying, from that perspective, the fact that Ezekiel Elliott was ineffective this entire night, and then you look on the other side of the field, you got Dalvin Cook and Madison just destroying us and just carving us up. And Ezekiel Elliott not doing nothing on first down. And we're so predictable with it. We're predictable with the first down run that we are legitimately can be considered for being insane. Like, we constantly do the same thing thinking we're going to get different results, and we don't get different results. And we get into the fourth quarter and we still do the same dumb stuff. And I didn't want to cuss. I don't want to cuss. I probably don't have to cuss. I'm not going to cuss. I don't want to cuss. I know people don't like when I cuss on the Cowboys videos. So I'm going to chill out. But let me ask one more time. Dallas Cowboys, are you dumb? Now, back to the whole idea of Dak Prescott having to pass it in this game. Dak Prescott was on absolute fire. He looked amazing. He looked like the guy that actually deserves a massive contract. This is the Dak Prescott that a lot of the fans wanted to see, and we got to see it. And necessarily early on in Dak Prescott's career, all he had to do is at least get 200 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns, and Zeke can get us to the victory line. Zeke isn't necessarily that guy like that anymore. I mean, he's had 100-yard rushes this year, but in the entire year, he hasn't seemed like Ezekiel Elliott from his rookie season, and it seems like he's just gotten slower every year on out. So now when you look at it, like, all right, Dak had an amazing game with all the wide receivers, talking about Cooper, talking about Cobb, talking about Michael Gallup, talking about Blake Jarwin. He looked amazing with his receiving core. And yet we still wanted to run on first down. And let me ask one more time, Dallas Cowboys, are you dumb? Now let me get to the final drive of the game. Yes, this game was back and forth. It was a very exciting game. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I was with some friends. We had a blast. But we get to the final drive of the game, and I tweeted it. I was like, this drive right here can have a huge impact on the rest of the season. And then here goes Dak Prescott throwing dimes, beautiful balls, getting us down the field, right? And we get in the end zone, and it's second down. And instead of passing it, we hand it off to Ezekiel Elliott. And I'm like, all right, whatever, right? I kind of expected that. Then the third down, I'm totally expecting a pass. And it seems like we were trying to play with the clock too much, trying to get us to the point where we can kind of burn the clock and then get to the end of the game and try to win it and minimize as much time for the Vikings at the end of the game. But it seems like that game plan worked to our detriment, because what we did on third down is we ran the ball again, and it got nothing again. It's like you were shooting yourself in the foot, and I don't understand what the hell the Dallas Cowboys are doing in that situation. So again, I just want to ask one more time, the Dallas Cowboys, are you dumb? Now, besides giving Dak Prescott all the props in the world, I also want to give props to Dalvin Cook. He is a monster. And I also want to give props to Amari Cooper. What a game. The amazing catches that he had were just beautiful. Also, I want to show a little love to Randall Cobb. That touchdown catch that he had was unbelievable. I mean, this entire game was great. It was a very entertaining game. It was beautiful the way we played, the way the Minnesota Vikings played. It was a very entertaining game. But for it to come down to those two plays, those back-to-back run plays, it killed you. And it killed us as Cowboys fans. And I'm looking at Jason Garrett, and I'm looking at Kellen Moore. Like, are you guys dumb? Are you, for real, seriously, are you? So the next thing I want to talk about, this is more of a vent session at this point, because, and I could probably ask the question one more time, why? Why is there such a huge and heavy reliance on the Dallas Cowboys to rely on Jason Witten? Why do we have him on the field so much? What is our reliance on him? When we put him out there, he can't do anything after the catch. He catches it, he falls down. You put Blake Jarwin out there, he catches a ball, and you can see what he does. You see what he did against the Giants. You saw what he did today. There was a route early on in the game where Blake Jarwin was in the slot position, and I was like, he's going to run a seam. Like, it's open. Like, there's no safeties back there. He ran a seam. He was wide open. And I know Dak Prescott had pressure in his face, so I'm not blaming him for it. But I'm just saying Blake Jarwin has that type of speed. Blake Jarwin is that type of athlete that keeps the defenses honest. When it comes to Jason Witten, they're not concerned about it anymore. Jason Witten's falling over people in the end zone, and it's not going to give us a PI. And in fact, they're just going to look at us like, oh, it's just Jason Witten. He's clumsy. He's falling over. He's slow. He can't make these plays anymore. Like, what are we doing? I just don't understand what the Cowboys are doing. I feel like we are hurting Blake Jarwin's development by keeping Jason Witten out there, and I just about had it. And I want to ask the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff and every analytical department there, are you dumb? Now, I got two more things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and the perception that they can't beat winning teams. Here's what makes us look like a middle-of-the-pack team, like an 8-8 team again, because we beat sorry teams that don't have any way of making the playoffs, right? But we've lost to teams that have or are in contention to make the playoffs. So let's take a look at this, right? The Dallas Cowboys, we lost to the New Orleans Saints without Drew Brees. When this team, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that we would have played the Saints without Drew Brees, I would have said we would have won. And I think we should have won, especially against Teddy Bridgewater. I don't take no pride in losing to them without Drew Brees. I feel like we should have won that one. Green Bay Packers, right? Like, all right, they don't have Devontae Adams. We should be able to beat them. We should just stop their run. We have one of the best secondaries in the league. Force Aaron Rodgers to throw and just blitz them to death, and we're going to win this game. And what do? We lost the game on the ground. And yeah, there was a few plays that Aaron Rodgers made, but we lost to the freaking Packers without the number one offensive option. Strike number two. Then we go to the Jets. This is even more of an embarrassing loss. The Jets, right? Just one of the worst teams in the NFL. We lost to them. Whatever. But now, our fourth loss. We lose to the Minnesota Vikings without Adam Thielen, probably one of the top 3, top 4 wide receivers in the league. Maybe top 5, maybe top 7, depending on how you look at it. But the dude produces, right? He's very productive. They need him, especially if they want to make a run in the playoffs. And yet we lost to the Vikings and to Kirk Cousins without one vital wide receiver. When it comes to looking at this team and from the outside looking in and removing my blinders of the Dallas Cowboys, this team is an embarrassment so far this year as far as their performance. And yeah, we could look at all the positives. Hey, we're still tied for first place. We're still in the lead. We still have a chance to make the playoffs. But if we make the playoffs, knowing that nothing's necessarily going to change all of a sudden, are you confident knowing that we'll go into the playoffs and we could put on another type of performance like this? I don't have any confidence in this team currently when it comes to that question. Now, I hope you made it this far into the video, and I wanted to share this perspective with everybody. I really hope you made it this far so you could see what I'm about to talk about. So today, Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins had a great showing of how to run offense, right? Not how the Cowboys started, but eventually it was a really good game. But Dak Prescott, his game was more like a Kirk Cousins game where he had over 380 yards passing and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, which was at the end. So it counts, but people will tell me it won't count. But he had a Kirk Cousins-like game that resulted in a loss. Versus Kirk Cousins, he had a Dak Prescott type of game that resulted in a win. But if the roles were reversed, people would say, hey, well, Dak Prescott, all he had to do is throw for 200 yards and we won and we'd be happy. Yeah, we'd be happy. And honestly, I would prefer that Dak Prescott. But now the narrative changes because we can't talk crap about Kirk Cousins anymore because Kirk Cousins didn't have to have his 300-yard, 3-touchdown game and then an interception at the end. So when it comes to your criticism of Kirk Cousins and when it comes to your critiques of Dak Prescott, understand that sometimes it comes down to your coaches and how they set you up. And in this game, the Cowboys had to pass it to win. And the Cowboys had to get the 30 points to win this game too. And although Dak Prescott was on fire and he was lining it up with over 300 and some passing yards, that is not how we prefer to win as the Dallas Cowboys. We want to establish the running game and make this an easy game for Dak Prescott to manage. But Dak Prescott showed that he can actually have like these big games. It's just when he has these big games, will it result in wins? And his 2 biggest games against the Vikings and against the Packers have resulted in losses. Is that what we want? I don't think so. But if that's what we're going to have to do, I think a big issue comes down to the coaching. The fact that we consistently ran the ball and set up Dak in a bad situation, we just have to look at this coaching staff and ask them, are you dumb? This has been your boy TGK. I want to hear you signed off in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this game and would you agree with what I said. And until next time, I'm going to catch you on the next one.